Carry on my wayward son. We'll be podcasting till you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Hey everybody, how you doing today? Welcome to the Square Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast. My name is Johnny Bottles. I believe in tope suicida with onions and extra hot sauce. Order that up for me, honey. Okay.
You get it now.
To my left is Dr. Don Wayne, the neckbeard psychologist, sometimes psychiatrist, sometimes reverend, from the Twitterverse. X, if you will. Everyone calls it Twitter, though, still. Elon Musk. Don, what do we got first today? We've got
a lot going on.
Topics.
We have a long show tonight. We're doing two separate shows. If you guys are joining in, we're going to do a live stream after this one ends. We want to thank you all for tuning in right now for the going to recap a little bit of everything right now. It's going to be sort of a deluge of a show. Talk about everything going on in the wrestling world. Then we're going to go straight into the watch along. And if we're doing all that, here's to you. Because I'm going to need all this I can get my hands on tonight. I guess she's on the thumbnail. Might as well talk about her. Mercedes Moné has been doing the rounds this week and has not stopped complaining about her life and the WWE and everything about wrestling that she hated for so long. Bottles, did you see all these interviews she did this week? I don't know if it was a single interview and it was all from this. It was on Hot 97 from what I saw.
I saw them. Yeah, she was on TMZ too, Don. Yeah, she's great.
There was a lot she had to say this week, and, you know, she's a good in-ring talent. I'll say that much. I haven't seen a lot of her wrestling matches in the past. I just really started watching recently when she came to AEW. I hadn't seen a whole lot about her. Her mic skills are less than ideal. I'd say they're less than ideal. When she's live, it's not good. She seems to be able to do a good, you know, pre-taped segment, if you will. But this is what I saw that she said on Hot 97 this week. She spoke to Hot 97 where she talked about how hard it was to get WWE to let her film The Mandalorian. She revealed the company booked her for shows on filming days. They seemingly tried to get her to miss out on appearing on the Disney program and said getting them to cooperate was like, quote, pulling teeth. I love WWE, but they tried so hard to not make me do The Mandalorian. Okay, if that's what she said, she needs to get somebody to help her out there in her speech patterns. They put me on house shows when I was supposed to film. It was like pulling teeth just to get on that show, just to be part of that show. Bottles, there's a couple of things here I just want to talk about real quick. The Rock and John Cena have both come out and talked about how hard it is when you're a wrestler in the business of movies and television, right? They've both said it's hard because you're going to risk hurting yourself because they usually have these wrestling people, the wrestling folks, they tend to do their own stunts, correct? They tend to do some really risky moves on set. They usually don't have a whole lot of stuntmen when they first start before they're big stars. And then, you know, they're used to going through tables and shit like that. So they use these guys up a little bit. Would you go along with my thought process there?
You're absolutely correct. They can do their own stunts, so that saves a little bit, you know, on the budget. Don't need to hire an extra stuntman to look like Seth Rollins, who, by the way, is going to be in the new Captain America movie that's coming out whenever they finally get it all done.
You also, you know, have a realism effect going on there when you see that actor actually do the whole scene through the whole shoot. So that sort of happens. Here's sort of my thing on this. The Rock and Cena have both said, when you're on a movie production shoot, if you get injured in the ring, you put the entire movie on pause because you're then hurt. It works the same way in the wrestling business. If you get hurt on the movie set, if you get hurt filming a movie, you're hurting the company that's paying you a full-time salary. It's a double-edged sword, and it sort of seems to me she's not really thinking this through the whole way because, correct me if I'm wrong, but she did scenes in The Mandalorian, did she not? She did get on the show, correct?
I saw every episode that she was in of The Mandalorian. She played like she was aiding a female Mandalorian. She was a silent assassin, a silent badass. Didn't have a lot of lines, Don. I think maybe she had 2 or 3. That was it. Not a lot of exposition on her part. Her character's name was Casca Reeves, and she actually had, I guess it was her actual hair. It was black and braided up in I don't know, some kind of braided style. But she acts like she's this dramatic thespian that, the entire production hinged on her appearance there. That's why she couldn't appear at house shows for the WWE to defend the Women's Tag Team Championship, she was a co-holder of with Naomi at the time.
Yes. And that's sort of my point is, if they advertised you to be at the show 2 months in advance, because house shows usually they have to announce those cards, right? I know it's always subject to change, but it's not subject to change unless there's an injury or something major happens to said wrestler. So they have to announce those way in advance, right? House shows don't sell like they used to. Back when, I was a kid growing up, house shows actually sold out faster than the tape shows because they were long as hell. The commercial breaks were just grueling as shit. It was a horrible show to attend live. It's still the same way. If you go to a live wrestling show, the commercials are long as hell. They take forever to get back to it. It feels like you're on a commercial break every 10 minutes when you're there live, which is also why at these live shows, they usually have a big hoo-ha-ha at the end of it when it goes off the air. Well, you'll see a couple matches take place with really big stars. So that's sort of where I was going with that is they didn't let her go on these shows until they could clear her schedule so she could go on these shows. Because clearly they work with her to a point on this. Am I completely out of my head here?
No, you're exactly right. I mean, they accommodated her schedule to appear on the show. She taped segments for the shows for The Mandalorian. She's not in demand as an actress. No one's saying we need a green and blue haired bombshell for this movie. Get me Mercedes Moné. Bring me Mercedes Bernardo. No one's saying that. She's a talented thespian. Bring her here. She cuts such great promos on television. She's got to be a great speaker, a great public speaker. The acting is just oozing out of her, the talent. Bring her here. No one's saying that. No one's saying
Let's be honest. If they were really going to talk about the real Mercedes Moné, it would be, I need a bald chick with bad teeth. That would be the first thing out of your mouth. That's what you would say. That ain't her hair, folks. I got news for you.
Mercedes, in this scene, you're going to eat a apple through a pair of Venetian blinds. Can you do that? I know you can do that. I think you have it in you.
Talented girl
choppers of yours.
Talented girl in the ring. She works out a lot.
Very
I
talented.
can't take anything from her in the ring. But when you put her on the microphone, she is not rolling through zones. She is not that person.
No.
She also said, with these new doors of opportunity here at AEW, I have all the time in the world. I repeat, all the time in the world to pursue these endeavors. Tony Khan will pick me up on the private jet to take me to shows and back to the other show to film. It's so beautiful. It's so cool that I get these new doors. And I feel like the universe is just beginning. We want you to do these beautiful superstar things as you are.
Dude, there's no private jet involved there. Will Ospreay's flying first class. He is flying first class on regular airplanes, regular jets, not a private jet. No one's doing that for her. It's all she's doing the Ric Flair gimmick as a female. The Ric Flair horseman gimmick is what she's doing. That's all it is. That's all it is. Look for her to come out with a high forehead energy drink. That'll be her brand of energy drink. High forehead, five head energy drink. And her own line of wigs for those fabulous corner stores owned by Korean people down in the city. Not that there's anything wrong with Korean people. I'm just saying.
I don't even know what that means. The biggest thing is just listening to my heart and soul, Moné said. Something didn't feel right that day. Speaking of the day she left WWE. How we were talked to, that didn't sell in my heart, and just instantly knew that if I was going to take control of my life right here and now, that I was never going to happen here. I had to leave, someone to talk to. No one could talk to me the way they did, or the feeling like you just don't belong there.
She probably said to John Laurinaitis, I'm not going to be able to go and do that Poughkeepsie tour, the Jersey tour, South Jersey house show run, because I got to film The Mandalorian. I got to stand in the background of a couple scenes of The Mandalorian. Oh, no, we're not going to be able to do that for you. I don't think we can accommodate that. You're defending the tag championship belts with Naomi.
I got to shit on this lady.
Now, let's be clear.
I got
Laurinaitis
it.
did not defecate on anybody.
I got
it. It was Vince who can't
Work
hold
with
his
me here,
bowels.
pal. Work with me. It's a wrestling show. Work with me.
Work with me, pal. People power, Mercedes. People power.
It's now the greatest decision I've ever made, Monique and Tim. You, the TBS champion. I am the highest paid women's wrestler in history. According to her, she's the highest paid wrestler in wrestling history as far as female.
Women's wrestler. Yes. She very well may be.
I mean, I don't know. You don't know. We can't put our finger on what that is.
Look, the reason why she went to AEW, and let's be clear, it wasn't the fact that she wouldn't be a star in WWE. She's a superstar. Like they used to call all their wrestlers superstars. She wouldn't be able to use her own brand name. Mercedes Bernardo is her name. She wouldn't be able to call herself Mercedes anything. She would be Sasha Banks. They wouldn't let her use her real name. She wouldn't be able to do those shitty rap singles and release them on Spotify because she raps her CEO gimmick when she comes to the ring. That's her, allegedly, from what I hear. She wants to have her own line of clothes. Probably wigs are involved also, if I had to guess. Maybe even grills. Maybe even jewelry. She wants to have a jewelry line. She did say that. And she wants to go and be able to do movies. Direct-to-video movies or whatever. Just get her foot in the door like The Rock did. She wants to be the female Rock is what she wants to be. She doesn't have the charisma. She doesn't have the gift of gab. She's got hellacious in-ring skills, like you said, Don. She's, when she's all dialed up and wearing certain outfits, she's a very attractive young lady, I will say. Very attractive young lady. Big forehead, yes. Wearing wigs all the time. Rumored to be bald in the front, possibly. We don't know. Big caps on her teeth, big choppers. Yes, we do know that. Horrible promos. Yes, horrible promos. What more can you say? Where is this going?
She said a couple of things.
What's she done?
She also said she wasn't sure if she was. Now, this is where it gets really weird for me, and I'm going to try to sum this up instead of reading word for word. But she said, she really didn't know if she was going to go back to the WWE. But come last year at the Wembley show, it really solidified her mind that she was going to go to AEW, seeing, to her, quote, 80,000. We all know it wasn't 80,000. It was closer to 72. That's what the gate said. Don't come at me with the nonsense. They didn't sell 80,000 tickets. They had 72,000 people attend. They don't know how many they sold. So stop. Wrestling companies do this shit all the time. WWE does the same thing. They didn't have 60,000 people at WrestleMania this year per night. They had like 52,000 or some shit. I can't remember what it was actually. But she said something along the lines of,
I got a quote if you want to.
I was just trying to out. Oh, God, please don't. Go ahead.
Does no mean yes? Being in the crowd and seeing how 80,000 fans it was at WrestleMania, it was AEW All In, I was like, this is where I want to be. I want to be here, and this company feels aligned with my soul. We kept talking, and I got the most amazing contract in wrestling history. But she left out the part that she was still negotiating with the WWE up until December of last year.
That's what we were told by the Sean Ross Sapps and the Dave Meltzers and everybody else. If she was so convinced she was going to go to AEW, why was she still talking to the company that she said didn't work with her, didn't want to do this, didn't want to do that? I get that you're always working in the wrestling business, but there comes a point, which, by the way, if you were so unhappy, why didn't you talk about all this as soon as you left? Like one CM Punk did 10 years ago. When CM Punk left, he took a 5-gallon can of gasoline, took it across the bridge, and blew the bitch up with dynamite. He left no doubt where he stood on why he left. He left no doubt on how pissed off he was. He said, this is bullshit. I'm tired of being hurt. I'm tired of getting treated like this. This company's full of shit, and I'm going home. I'm going to sue your ass, and I'm going to get all my money. And he did. She waits 2 years in the weeds before she gets a secure contract and then speaks out. That's sort of the difference that I took on this is she didn't have anything negative to say about the company publicly until she got a big bag of money and got a secure job. That sort of seems like, to me, look, it just seems like a cowardice way to back your way into getting fan favoritism.
She can shit all over the WWE if she wants to, all over Vince and Triple H. Well, Vince would probably enjoy it. But the whole thing boils down to when this contract's up with AEW, if she wants to go back to the WWE, they would take her back with open arms, because if they can do business with somebody, they will bring you back. Look at Brett. Look at superstar Billy Graham. Look at Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and more recently, CM Punk. A man who you thought you would never see in WWE ever again. They'll bring her back eventually.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
It's
man.
ironic. It's ironic that she wants to have a career in movies in the entertainment industry, and TKO Sports and is run by Endeavor, owned by Endeavor, and Endeavor is the #1 talent agency in the world. Okay, and it's ironic that Vince is gone. Endeavor bought the company through TKO Sports. And it's an entertainment conglomeration. And now she's over there with Jacksonville Dixie. He's trying to figure out who he is and what he wants to do and who he wants to push. So it's just, it's ludicrous. It's ludicrous that she would actually go there, but she wants that bag right away. Who knows, Don? Maybe she's got a high car payment. Maybe she's in debt. Maybe she wants to get her own house. Maybe she wants to buy that little weasel husband of hers his own a brand new sewing machine. Who knows?
Well, don't ever give that girl green trunks again. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but she complained about the color of the trunks that her husband made her. They were green and she hated it and said, I'm going to wrestle horribly in green. I can't make this shit up. Whatever she said.
Well, they spell his name wrong. It's Mikaze, not Mikaze.
That's it.
But there he is. There's the handsome man is right there. And let's see what the ring gear looked like. There it is right there. It was so bad. Isn't that terrible?
Think it's bad at all. I don't think it's bad.
I don't think it's bad at all either. She wrestled in it. She's wearing it. I don't think it's bad at all. I think she looks extremely attractive there. Nothing wrong with that outfit. Nothing. I like the fact that she's got her mouth shut.
Will you stop?
What?
That's all I've got on Mercedes. I was going to move on because I don't want to spend the whole 45 minutes talking about her. We got a lot to talk about because we got a lot to talk about shows. It's been a while. It's been a while since we were on here. We had everybody, by the way, have a safe 4th of July weekend. Remember, fireworks last 30 seconds. Losing your finger lasts the rest of your life. Light it and get. That's my motto when you're doing fireworks. Light that shit and run. Please be safe. Like I said, that's your safety announcement from the SCM podcast.
And if you have dogs, pets, and they're spooked by the fireworks, just remember, you can give them edibles.
Yapping his dog's alive, making noise all damn day, scared to death of fireworks. I cannot get past it. Scared to death of fireworks, barking their ass off all day at something. Mailman's coming, bark like hell. Whatever. Anyway,
I cut a little corner off an edible and slip it over to him. I'm good to go. Guys, please like and subscribe. It means a lot to us. It helps us grow our channel. We're at 840 right now. We're trying to get to 900 by the end of July. That's our next goal, 900 subscribers if we can. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. I subscribe to a lot of these YouTube channels that are totally useless to me, but I sort of like the people who do their thing on the channels and all that. I subscribe to a guy whose entire channels consist of going to deserted, abandoned insane asylums.
I like that channel.
I like that channel. Very good channel. I like the music on that channel too.
Yes.
That's the guy that wrote the music for our show. The great Mike Digital.
Shout out to Greg. He bought a t-shirt for the SCM store. Want to say thank you, Greg. He said he likes it, said it's good quality. So if anybody's ever on a YouTube page thinking about buying something, check out the store, man. Appreciate everybody's support.
Greg F.
Greg F.
And the F stands for better not say it.
Smackdown.
Just kidding, Greg. We're just teasing you, Greg. God bless you.
So Smackdown this week was, I thought, good. I thought it was good. What did you think just overall the show? I thought it was a good show.
I thought SmackDown, and people say, oh, you guys talk shit about AEW. You never talk shit about SmackDown or Raw. I thought SmackDown was a snoozerama for me. It was mid-card. It was okay. It was something to occupy my time, but I keep reaching for the phone, Don, while SmackDown's on and just seeing what Twitter says about it. And then the end of SmackDown.
hold on. Let's not cut to the chase. I thought it started off hot myself. If you remember how it started. Do you not remember how it started?
It started with Owens and Cody and Randy against the Bloodline.
I thought that was a good way for it to start off with, man. They come out, They got a big brouhaha. Those three guys are kicked out of the building. They have to go home. I thought it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. It felt like chaos. Wrestling's got to have chaos. You've got to have an element of what the hell is going to happen next. You've got to have a chaotic element to any good wrestling show. It can't be boring segment after boring segment where you know what the hell is going to happen. You can't know the winner of every match, which, by the way, they've done a great job of doing on the Money in the Bank ladder match because half the participants that won, I did not see that shit coming at all. I'm glad to see they're putting some fresh blood in this. The way SmackDown started off, I thought was incredible. Give that little bit of an element of surprise. Oh my God, what's going to happen? And often, to me, it was off we go and we're running. I think they drew like a 2.25 million this week. Is that right? Somewhere in there?
2.28 is what they drew. Okay. And you're right about that. You need unpredictability in wrestling. Unpredictability has been missing from wrestling since the Monday Night Wars. It used to be glorious in the Monday Night Wars because you never knew about contracts unless you read Meltzer, and half the time he was wrong. And all of a sudden, on the Monday Night Wars, Rick Rude's on Monday Night Raw, and he's also on Monday Nitro, WCW, at the same time. You never know what's going to happen. You never know. That's
what you need.
Glorious.
That's what you need. By the way, the super chats are open. If you got something to say or something you liked about the shows this weekend or this week, let us know. We've been gone for about a week, and we're trying to play catch-up. Here's just a couple of things that happened.
Little snappy patter. Throw it in there.
Tiffany Stratton defeated Candice LeRae and Jade Cargill. LA Knight defeated Logan Paul and Santos Escobar, which sort of sets up a weird kind of dynamic now for Money in the Bank, which we're going to talk about, I think, Friday. I think we're going to do a show is what the
we're out on Thursday.
Yes.
The holiday has shifted us to Friday.
So we're going to talk about the Money in the Bank preview, and I think we might end up doing a show Sunday to cover what happened from that. So busy here before we go on vacation. Naomi
Money in the Bank is money, big guy. Money in the Bank is Saturday.
Yeah, and I said we're going to review it Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Calm down.
NXT Sunday too.
Yeah, well, look, let's pump the brakes a little bit here. Let's pump the brakes.
He called me sugar tits. Oh, yes, he did. He called me sugar tits. Oh, yes, he did. Go ahead.
Austin Theory and Grayson Waller attacked DIY in the backstage, but that's not what everybody remembers about this show. What everybody remembers about this show was the Paul Heyman segments throughout the show, where he kept asking where the latest Uso was. Where's the werewolf? Where's he at? Where's the Samoan werewolf? You said you didn't want him here? He's not here. He's not here. He's not here. Told him, he's not, he told him, shit, Roman Reigns ain't coming back. I'm here now. Roman Reigns ain't coming back. They come to the ring. They have the final segment of the show. And I said, we might see something amazing here. And I was not disappointed. I sat through a pretty mediocre show for this. They all come around. All of the Bloodline members acknowledge Sikoa as the new tribal chief. And that was a big point of this show. They give Paul Heyman the tribal necklace and say, acknowledge me.
And Heyman said, where did you get this? Where did you get this?
His eyes are bloodshot. It looks like he's been crying the whole time backstage. He's got 5-day-old beard going on. He looks like he looks like he woke up in a gutter half drunk this morning.
He didn't dye the hair.
He didn't dye the hair. He looked like shit. And then, like you said, they pulled out the necklace and he starts screaming, where did you get that from? Where did you get that?
Great.
And he looks at him and he says, acknowledge me. And Paul Heyman and all his filibuster, I thought he was going to say it, but he swerved me at the end and I popped. I acknowledge, you are not my tribal chief. And he was crying because he knew the ass whooping was going to commence. And the crowd went banana. It was perfect.
Blew the roof off the garden. Unbelievable.
Roman Reigns, when he comes back, is going to be a bigger star than when he left. Do you realize this?
Absolutely. The number one baby face in professional wrestling will be Roman Reigns.
And he hasn't been on TV in 3 months now.
Right. Have you heard this rumor that they're floating around about the new wise man for the Bloodline?
Oh my God, I've heard about this, and there's not a chance in hell that's going to happen. I give this negative 0.0%. There's not a chance this happens.
You don't think so? You don't think MVP Montel Vontavious Porter III will be the new wise man for the Bloodline? He's got the gift of gab. He really does.
That's not the guy I'd heard.
Who'd you hear?
I keep seeing Jim Cornette.
Oh, Cornette would never do that.
I don't think he would either, but I'm just saying I keep seeing it because he has a connection with the family with Yokozuna. That's where that connection's coming from. I don't think so either. I don't see it either. The guy's making a hell of a killing doing his own business, whatever he's doing. That's what I've read. But MVP is kind of an interesting thing because I have noticed the last couple of days they're talking about his contract. He's still under contract allegedly, but if he's supposed to be coming back, why would he be talking all this shit about the company unless he's setting it all up to come back, like you said? Mm-hmm. What if this is his way of saying, I'm coming into this group now because you guys have screwed me over for so long? Who knows? They work
a lot of angles on Twitter, Don. They work a lot of angles on Twitter. They keep it kayfabe on Twitter. These wrestlers do.
I had not actually seen MVP. That would make sense as why his contract's suddenly getting discussed again.
You know who would be a great wise man for the Bloodline?
Who? Do tell.
Block Larry.
Oh, no. God, no.
What?
No, he's more of a stone cold guy. He's just going to pound beers. That's what he's going to do. But then it gets better. It gets better because then they shit can poor Paul Heyman outside of the ring. He's getting the hell kicked out of him. And
58 years old.
Dude, and then they power bomb him through the announce table, and he laid there like a dead fish and didn't move. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. He pulled it off. That magnificent bastard pulled it off to the letter. But now it makes me wonder, well, what the hell is going to happen now? Because you know Paul Heyman's not going to be on TV for a while. He can't be on TV for a while.
He'll be selling this for a long time. When Roman comes back, Heyman will come back.
And that's sort of what concerns me is how long can SmackDown go without having Paul Heyman on the show? Block Larry with $2. Good Lord, my man. Thank you, Larry, for the super chat. He's going to be pounded more than beers.
Look, Paul Heyman is the shining light of the Bloodline story on SmackDown. He books the Bloodline
story on
SmackDown. He's the guy that books all that shit. That's why it's so good. I don't know why they don't let him book the whole show.
No, you can't let Paul Heyman book the whole show. We've seen that happen before. That's not a good idea. He's great with having input on his segments. He is not the guy that should be running that show backstage. I'm sorry. That's why ECW crumbled. That's why SmackDown in the early days was a mid-show. It just wasn't very good for a long time and had too much rah-rah bullshit going on in it. In his own segments, I think he does a great job. He's a hell of a performer, and he should have all the input he wants on this. This segment had grown stale the past month and a half. We had said it's grown stale. Yes. SmackDown's viewership is sort of holding its own. Raw is taken off, though. Raw has gone from like a 1.4 to a 1.6, and now it's at a 1.8.5, almost 1.9. Raw is taking off. There's compelling shit on Monday nights for 3 hours, and that's hard to do. I still wish they'd book it back to 2 hours, but it is what it is at this point in time. I love this segment of SmackDown. I give it, I loved it. I loved it.
Have you heard the rumors about the length of these shows swapping when Raw goes to Netflix? Raw will be 2 hours with commercials, and SmackDown will be 3 hours on the USA Network. Have you heard this?
I have not heard this.
That was in the SEM group chat. Someone posted a screen grab of, I believe it was WWE.com, of how this is all going to shake out. That SmackDown will be 3 hours in USA. Raw will be 2 hours. Raw will be R-rated. It won't be PG.
Oh, there's no way.
They'll be cursing on Raw. They won't be censoring the crowd like they've been doing.
Oh,
in fact,
that's
they
not
bleeped out a lot of SmackDown. They
It
bleeped
was
out a
bad.
lot of Raw. Terrible. Because someone said, oh, what was it, SmackDown? Someone said, fuck the Pacers.
Yes, they had the chant going.
Fuck the Pacers. Fuck
here's
the
the other thing.
Pacers. And they kept hitting that dump button every single time.
But it's not even that, Bottles. They're going to a blank screen, which is stupid. That doesn't make any sense to me as a fan. Why would you go to a blank screen?
Because
when not as shit.
I'll tell you why. When Nia Jax walked down the aisle, there was a little kid there with his family flipping the bird to Nia Jax and yelling at her. And he was doing the double bird. So that's why they went to a blank screen.
But they do it all the time. There's no rhyme or reason to it. They'll just all of a sudden it's there. It's driving me nuts as a fan trying to watch this shit. I can't wait until they get off Fox at this point in time. As much good as Fox has done for them in the past probably year and a half, 2 years, it's now starting to hurt the company as a whole when they put their shows on.
Come on.
As
much good as they've done for Fox. As much good as they've done for Fox. It's the highest rated show on Fox on Friday nights.
Well, look, let's face it.
It wins its time slot.
Television's dying a slow death. There's no shows any family or any person is like, I gotta watch that. I gotta see it live. I gotta see what happens. You DVR the shit, you watch it a day or two later. That's what it is right now.
Everyone wants an a la carte programming. I want this, that, this, and that, and that. I want that bundled together. I'll pay you $29.99 a month for it. That's it.
Yeah. We also had the AEW pay-per-view show that you sat through, might I add, that you sat through.
Oh, it was fantastic, Don. I even watched the pre-show, Don. I watched the pre-show, and it was different. It was they had if it was primarily a Mexican talent in the ring with AEW talent, they did a English ring induction for everybody and a Spanish language ring induction for everybody. If it was a Japanese talent in the ring, English introduction and a Japanese introduction. If there was an English talent in the ring, American, whatever you want to call it, a Mexican talent in the ring, and if there's Japanese talent in the ring, it was all three announcers introducing everybody. Very redundant, if you will, very redundant. And just something like that, just to keep me dozing off throughout the entire show. It was.
So I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it, but you didn't
miss anything. You missed the best thing. Here are the three best things about the show. Okay, the Tony Storm Mira Shirakawa match. Say her name.
Yeah.
Okay, you won't say it. Tony Storm and Mira.
I can say that.
The lesbianism, the HLA match was good. It was a good match. They put on a good show. And the Swerve Strickland Will Ospreay main event, which I was shocked by. I thought the Young Bucks would be in the main event, but it was Ospreay and Strickland. And Ospreay put over Strickland, which I thought that kid's winning that title right then and there.
No
but
way.
He didn't. And supposedly now Ospreay has come out and said, we did what we did because Swerve Strickland deserves to be champion. He's a great guy, blah, blah, blah. He's good talent. I'm paraphrasing right now. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a good guy because I put over Swerve Strickland. Basically, that's what he came out and said. How come Tony Khan or AEW never mentioned that, never came out and said that? Well, whatever. The other good part of the show was the fact that the Young Bucks phoned it in. The Young Bucks and Okada phoned it in. And it was just the shits. It was no effort of them whatsoever. I bet they can't remember the last time they picked up a hand weight. I can't remember. They probably can't remember the last time they picked up a dumbbell. No muscle tone whatsoever in those guys.
What do they look like?
They're the middle-aged Bucks. One of them came out, the guy who comes out with the headband all the time.
They came
out without the head. Balding Buck, as Cornette would call him, came out without the headband. I'm going, whoa, man, get Mercedes Moné out here. We'll compare hairlines. Jesus Christ, I couldn't believe it. Don, it was a lot of looking at my phone and being bored. The Moxley match was a bore fest. The highlight of the Mercedes Moné Stephanie Vaquer match, which Stephanie Vaquer was a star. She's a star. Doesn't have a firm grasp of the English language. She can get by. She can get by at the drive-through window at McDonald's, but cutting a promo in the ring, it's a little speculative there. But she's a great in-ring worker. So was Monet. They put on a good match. Mercedes Moné was booed out of the building halfway through.
Hold on. Let me say something real quick.
Go ahead.
I saw the end of the match. It's all live. The crowd at the end of this thing was dead ass silent. It was I don't know what's going on with Mercedes Moné. I don't know what's happened to her since she's gotten there, but they have got no reaction to her at all, man. There's nothing
because
there.
of this. Talk. Me. WWE sucks. AEW great. Me. That's why. She is a heel. She's a heel.
Well,
they're trying to put her as a baby face. She's a heel. I've got the end of that match. Would you like to see it?
Sure.
It's cell phone video. It's not AEW video.
It ain't great. Yes.
YouTube. But here.
For the culture! You still suck!
So they had a crowd. They were just dead until something happened that they wanted to see. That's the only way you can discuss this. They were dead ass silent. They got to change something up with. They've got to fully embrace the suck that is Mercedes Moné right now. You have to embrace it. You've got to go full idiot mode. Embrace the heel part. They don't want to cheer her. They see her as an outsider that's gotten to push to the moon, and they are rejecting the shit out of it. That's how I see it.
She's got to be a heel. Every time they let her talk, Don, every time they let her talk on TV, she just shits all over. She just shits the bed. She shits the bed. Talk. It's like you meet a girl at the bar, you bring her home, and you're having coitus, and it's talk in the middle of coitus. Talk. All
right, I get it.
When you wake up the next morning. You wake up the next morning.
I get it.
Talk.
I get it.
And you just want to get in your car and drive to McDonald's and sit in the parking lot, eat a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, and cry in your coffee. That's all you want to do.
There was one part of the show. There was one.
And the wrestling. Well, hang on a second. The wrestling dentist came back. Who is
been gone for like 6-7 months.
She was a heel. She was a heel. And then she became a babyface when Adam Cole was a babyface, and they were beating up Adam Cole. Jericho was beating up Adam Cole, and he punched Britt Baker in the eye. The infamous T-shirt came out with her with the black eye.
That was a good idea.
You remember that? Terrible idea.
From AEW.
They're not smart with their T-shirt choices.
They are not. Big
not
black
at all.
Jack.
But you've got a chick that can cut promos all day long, Britt Baker, but she's lackluster in the wrestling ring.
Well,
Hold on.
Let me just chime in. I don't think she's lackluster. I think she's been put in some bad spots where some lackluster talent has worked with her, and she's had to make Chinese salad out of this shit. It's been ridiculous at times. Chicken salad out of chicken shit is what they say, right? And she's been put in a lot of those instances where she's been busted in the face and broke her nose multiple times because these women keep treating her like a goddamn punching bag.
They're not trained. That's why she's working with the likes of Anna Jay, Sky Blue, and that ilk, and they weren't trained. And they don't want to be trained. They just want to go out there and do whatever they want to do. And accidentally, if they clip somebody with the elbow in the nose a little too hard, oh, well, I'm sorry. Back in the old days, it's not like back in the old days with Ric Flair in Vern Gagne's barn where he's got a string hanging off of a light in the middle of the barn, and he's throwing punches to the string, trying not to make the string move. You've heard that story before.
Yes.
They don't do that anymore. They don't pay attention to details of professional wrestling anymore. Not with these women. I don't know what it is. They don't want to be trained. Fuck it. Who cares?
Well, it's like Bill Goldberg when he told Bret Hart, watch the kick. And the response was, what fucking kick? Where's it coming from? Oh, shit. He didn't have any idea where it was coming from. He just said, watch the kick. And the next thing he knows, his head's in the third row. And that was the end of his career.
I've heard that several times from my wife. Watch the kick.
There was one part
that you
didn't talk about that I want to get to real quick. The 4-way tag match with O'Reilly, Ishii, the House of Black and Private Party versus Gabe Kidd and Roderick Strong.
Why are you focusing on that?
Because Ishii dropped his big ass directly on his head. Nope, no bullshit. He tried to get that big 300-pound walrus up in the air, and he stood there.
They should have known.
It was a horrible idea from the start. I saw this shit. He dropped him straight on his head, bottles.
Yes, he can't move. I was looking for the Brody King to have a broken neck. I was looking for the referee to go, that's it. He's done. But
it looked bad, did it not? Did it not look horrible?
I thought they were going to have the stretcher out there for Brody King, but he was up. He was up. Ishii can't move. He's almost a 60-year-old man stumbling around in the ring with a paralyzed, with a frozen spinal column. That's what it seems like. I don't know why they do this. I don't know why they do this.
Well, hold on a bit. Why do they continue to allow this guy to put their up-and-coming wrestlers in harm's way like that? Dude, that was a bad idea from the word go. That should have never been allowed to happen. He dropped him straight on his head. When you watch the replay, his head literally is curled like my wrist, and the rest of his neck is there. It's so fucking horrible. Horrible. You know, he looked when that move was over with. Your look right now, like he was having a stroke in the middle of the ring.
Why do they do anything? Why do they do what they do? Why do they do what they do in that company? Why?
Well, you said it yourself.
Why?
Ospreay and Strickland had a good match, right? They did sell.
Great match. Great match.
I'm not a fan of the Olympic trampoline act that they do. I didn't like that because you've seen it 10 times now. But that's besides the point. The other part of the pay-per-view that I found interesting is almost everybody I thought was going to win won. The two lone exceptions were Moxley lost the IWGP belt and Orange Cassidy put over whoever the hell that guy is that I've never heard of, that Zack Sabre Jr. That for some reason is suddenly a star in this company, and I have no idea. I don't know who the hell this guy is.
All right, I'm a shooter. I'm Zack Sabre Jr.
I don't get this guy. And you want to know what he reminds me of?
My father is Race Bannon.
He reminds me of the guy in TNA right now. I swear to God, it feels like he's trying to be that guy's gimmick.
No, his father is Race Bannon from the Johnny Quest TV show. They got the same hair.
Okay. Well, I got no patience for any of this shit. Anyway, that was the pay-per-view. We got the show here in about 17 minutes. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you got something to say in Super Chats, they are open because I do want to talk about Raw before we go to the next show that we're going to have on tonight's programming. We are going to do the live stream after this. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to take it before I start just gulping vodka like it's a water beverage. I've been trying to pace myself because I know I'm going to be in for a night. Because, by the way, they announced online today, we are programmed to go over. We are going over. That was a tweet from Tony Khan.
It's a 4 Hot Pocket night.
I'd like to have some Totino's pizza rolls right now.
Go. I'm out of them. God damn it.
The one night it's needed.
I think I've got a couple of Hot Pockets in the freezer. I think I do.
I want to talk about this Raw moment because I got a couple of notes from this show.
We're going back to Raw now?
Yeah, we're going to talk about Raw. We've talked about this. Jey Uso, they've got to be careful how they use him. They can't overuse him. Him coming through the crowd, they're going to have to work on that because Monday night, them fools was all up in the camera. They wanted their moment of fame with Jey Uso coming to the ring. They've got to plan that a little bit better. maybe not let everybody see him, maybe give him a clear path to come in the ring. There is no doubt that his entrance is over. Can I say that? His entrance is over. Have we made this clear? Have we made this clear?
That's true.
The entrance is also the most over thing about everything he does.
That's it. In the ring, he's sub mid card. Garrett, he talks like a lot of the fans. Talks like a lot of the young fans with the vernacular, the slang, the yeet, all that. The yeet brought him a whole new fan base by using that term yeet, which is a common term, a common slang term. Where do you go? Where do you put the belt? Do you give Jey Uso the briefcase and have him cash in, or try?
It feels like
what do you do?
Right? It feels like he's getting this belt, and I've called it for a couple of months. I feel like he's getting this push, Bottles. Whether we want it or not, we're going to get plenty of yeet in the next month. He comes out, he gets in the ring, and once again, the promo's just, it's not hitting me, man. It's just not vibing with me. It's not connecting with me on any level at all.
I would say you have a yeet infection.
I think his microphone had one because he was just stumbling all over the place. It wasn't going anywhere. Chad Gable comes out. And I'm like, finally, are we at least going to get something out of this segment? And Chad Gable can't even save this guy. And they get to doing this shit in the ring. And they get to talking. And the punches are the worst shit ever that he does. The Jey Uso punches where he's trying to emulate The Rock with the spitting in the hand and the drawing back and the dancing. Knock the bullshit grab ass off. I don't like any part of that. I don't like any of it. None of this. As great as him coming into the ring is, it's amazing. The punching is a feces stain on what he's doing as a performer. That's what he is. The punches are a feces stain. God almighty. Chad comes out. They had their little hoo-ha-ha, and out comes the Wyatt Six. I don't know if they're over. I don't know if this is a good thing. I don't know if it's a bad thing. But I will say I'm intrigued. It's
like watching, remember the Ring movies?
Yes.
When Nikki Cross comes out, as she is, from underneath the ring and the smoke, it's like watching an addendum to the Ring movies as she hands the box to Michael Cole. And I thought for sure. The box?
That's what they're copying in 7.
Yeah. I thought for sure there'd be a different Wyatt Six-member video Monday night. Like maybe Eric Rowan, or Dexter Loomis, or someone else. But they told the story with Bo. I think they're going to stretch this out. She's bringing a tape to Cole every week where they highlight a different Wyatt Six member. The rumor going around is, Don, they're targeting people who abandon their families.
That's what I've heard. And I don't remember Chad Gable being with them. I don't know what that's about. I don't remember.
No.
I wasn't watching.
Chad Gable abandoned his family, Alpha Academy. He told them all to leave.
Oh, you mean like
treated them like shit. Jey Uso abandoned his family. The other Fatu brothers abandoned them all. And who else can fall into that? Where you abandon your family?
Hulk Hogan. No, wait, he's out of the business.
So I think that Chad Gable will be taken out by the Wyatts during Money in the Bank. I think Jey Uso will be taken out by the Wyatts.
Let's save that. Let's save that for Money in the Bank. We're going to do that Friday. I've got a lot
we have to have something to talk about on Friday. I'm sorry, guys. We're doing Friday's show into Wednesday.
Xavier Woods and Karrion Kross had a match. This thing is just, it's, look, I like Karrion Kross. I like where this is going. The New Day's got to end. Dude. It's got to go away. Dude. It's just got to go away. And I don't know what Karrion Kross's end game on this is, but he's got to separate from that shitty faction he's in right now.
It's the worst. Split them up. It's the worst. Have Paul Ellering go out and do promos with the Authors of Pain, and have Karrion Kross and Scarlett go off and do their own thing, and have them be separate factions completely. I don't know why they're together. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. It's not like Kross is needed in that whole thing, unless Paul Ellering is the Joe Biden of the WWE, where he can't cut a promo.
I'm not getting
He's
into
gonna
that.
stutter all
I'm
over
not
himself.
getting into that.
I'm just saying, Don.
I'm not getting into that. Nope. I'm not getting into politics.
Let's not go there. We're gonna put that on a T-shirt, Don. Greg F. and I are gonna do a design for that. Let's not go there.
I'm not talking politics. You like who you like. I don't care. What I am going to say is
talking politics, Don.
Paul Ellering adds nothing to this and should go play in traffic. That's what he should do. Nothing. He doesn't say anything. He walks out. He's collected a paycheck. I don't know what he adds to this program. I don't get it. The one thing that I'm digging, though, is Liv Morgan messing with that faction.
Yes.
Her backstage in the clubhouse while Damian Priest is chewing out Dom yet again. Once again, we get this. You can see it coming. Giving them that shit. Giving them the business. Motorhead, SCM, you guys roll. Thank you, Motorhead. Thanks for joining tonight, brother. Stay safe out there, brother. I enjoyed this.
He's in the wilds of Tennessee, I believe.
Yes, he is. Hold down the fort. I enjoyed seeing her in there because Dom is defending himself like it's not even my fault, dude, this keeps happening. I'm not doing anything. I'm going to end this tonight. Priest is like, you've been saying it for weeks and nothing happens. Like, what the hell's going on with you? And as Dom's walking around, he goes, "You sounded just like my dad." Walks in the room. And I don't know why, but holy shit, when they walk in there and there's a bunch of dudes in there playing video games, that's exactly what it sounded like, was a guy fussing at his kids.
You want to read that?
I hope the Wyatt's go after my dad. He left me for milk and 85.
I asked you to read it because I wouldn't be able to get through it. Brother Fluff Salisbury. Deuces, pal. You're great. Love it. Thank you so much thanks for the fin.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys with the super chats. But yes, that cracked me up just like that comment did, that he comes in there, they're all jerking off the video games, and Liv Morgan's like, "I got to go anyway. Time for my match." She's great in this role. I don't care. It's great.
She's resurrected her career, basically. She really has. She's resurrected her career. She's in the main event picture now.
Yes.
By doing this angle. Absolutely. And she put on a hell of a match with Zelina Vega. Hell of a match.
And of course, you get the Finn Balor calls out Priest. He's like, "Hey man, you said you didn't need us last week. What the hell's that about? You don't need us now. We need you." Okay, foreshadowing everywhere. The end is nigh. Is it going to be at Money in the Bank? Because it sure feels like they're going to strip that title off of him one way or the other.
Oh, he's losing that belt at Money in the Bank. He's losing that belt to somebody.
The question is how.
And who?
Because I'm not so sure it's Seth Rollins myself.
It could be, and then someone could
cash in.
Try to cash in on Seth Rollins and be thwarted in that cash in.
Like you said, women's title match, Liv Morgan versus Zelina Vega. Out comes Dom. He gets involved. This shit is gold. Everything they're doing is gold. She did the Three Amigos move. Did you see that? The suplex? That was great. And then she did Rhea Ripley's finishing hold, the lock, where the announcers were keying on it. She said she was going to take everything away from Rhea Ripley, and now she's taken her moveset. This is setting up so well. It really is.
I wouldn't be surprised if Rhea Ripley comes back this Saturday at Money in the Bank. Just put in an appearance, knock somebody off a ladder, punch somebody in the face. You only need one arm to do that.
From what I've read, she will not be back in time for SummerSlam. Just what I've read. It's looking more like Survivor Series she's going to gear up for. And good for her. She's
for a full match. For a match, Don. For a match. Well, she just got married to Buddy Murphy.
Exactly. So give him some time. Honeymoon. Let her heal up. Go that way. Seth Rollins comes out. He's over. They've finally dropped the Seth freaking Rollins. Thank God that's gone away. Now it's just Seth Rollins. Please stop saying Seth freaking Rollins announcers. They've gotten it ingrained in their head now, but they're not announcing that way anymore. So I thought this was good because the Judgment Day came out. They got into their spiel. He super kicks the shit out of Finn Balor, yada, yada, yada. This is the part that I wanted to talk about.
What's that?
Zoe Stark, Dakota Kai, and Ivy Nile had a match. And the ex-goofs, the Twitter goofs, lost their minds. As soon as Dakota Kai lost, all of them were crying a river. This is bullshit. She's earned her spot. Didn't you see the video where she was crying, saying she just wants a spot? She just wants a shot. Why are you guys doing this? She deserves this. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
All you Cheetos, orange-fingered virgins, naked from the waist down, getting ready to watch AEW Dynamite right now. Dakota Kai is a lesbian woman, happily lesbian woman from day one. She's in a live-in relationship with Shayna Baszler, and she's got no interest in the likes of you, Mountain Dew swilling, greasy-haired, never seen a vagina in real life idiots. Okay? All right.
I don't know anything about her personal life, and I don't give a shit because I just watch her on TV.
Thought I'm just saying it's an open story. It's an open story.
I'm not saying it's not. I just don't check into that shit because I don't care. I care about what's on my TV. Outside of that, I'll check a little bit of news. I don't try to dig too deep in these people's personal lives. I put it out there on Twitter the other day. I actually met Drew McIntyre at the airport once. I was on my way to a 6 a.m. flight. So was he. And I look over and he's standing there. And I might have told this story before or not. But as a man to another man, you respect their boundaries. It's 6 a.m. He did Monday Night Raw the day before because it's a Tuesday morning. I'm not getting this guy's space. I gave him the nod and the point like, hey, I know who you are. And he gave me the smile and the wave like, I appreciate you not getting in my shit. That was men being men. These people, these fanboys,
you
going
didn't
crazy.
Try to get that Funko action figure, that Funko Pop sign by Drew McIntyre and hump his leg. You didn't do that?
Again, these people crying over Dakota Kai not winning was the most embarrassing thing I have ever seen on Twitter. You all act like a bunch of bitches. You're bitches, every one of you. Grow up. It's a show. They're clearly building the faction breakup with Dakota Kai coming out of this thing as the main baby face. That's where this is going. So get behind the wheel, get in the back seat. You're not driving. Let the show drive itself. It's doing just fine. Bunch of horse shit. Just awful. Then they had the Wyatt segment, which I thought was not as good as last week, but it was okay. And we're running out of time because we're about to go live. Rey and Dominic had the match, and this was the highlight of the show for me. Dominic gets himself into a precarious position with one Liv Morgan outside the ring, where he ends up straddling on top of her. And he goes to get up, and she grabs him by the waist and won't let him up. And I about fell out laughing because he's looking panicked. He's like, let go of me. Let go of me. It was great. This was hilarious. Everything they're doing with this is awesome. Braun Breaker came out later in the Sami Zayn segment, kicked the shit out of Sami. I enjoyed that. What else happened? Then you had the final Money in the Bank qualifier. Drew McIntyre won clean. And I got a lot to talk about this Money in the Bank lead up. I got a lot to talk about that coming up Friday night. I think we're going to see some interesting things. I put my thoughts out there on how I would do this. This is just me being a fan, what I'd like to see myself. It can go either way. I'm not saying it's going to go one way or the other, but I'm excited to talk about this in a couple of days. This show did 1.8 or 1.87 million, something crazy. It was higher than a giraffe's ass. Raw is getting stronger. For a 3-hour show, you don't expect those kind of numbers. You just don't. This show went well beyond my expectations.
What about that main event where Sheamus is like, looks like he's winding down his career. He's putting people over on his way out the door. He put over McIntyre. He was selling for Ilya Dragunov. In fact, they were all selling for Ilya Dragunov to try to build that guy up a little bit.
Yes.
Well, great interactions there. The three of those guys. It was a great main event. And here's I've got a special clip right now from the main event of AEW Dynamite tonight. Would you like to see it?
Oh, God, I'm scared.
Oh, shit!
Who are these people?
Outlaw Mud Show psychopaths.
That's what it is. Folks, we want to thank you for joining in. We're about to go to the other show. We set up 2 different channels. We knew this was going to be a quick hour show tonight. We want to thank you all for watching. Please like.
Not 2 different channels, 2 different videos.
Well, 2 different videos, sorry. But it's going to be a different area to go to watch it. You got to click another link is what I'm saying, Bobbs.
Click another link. That's right.
Thank you all. Like and subscribe. We'll be back in about 2 seconds.
Till next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.